Hi everybody, it's Mark Shelsh here. This is the Mark Art Show coming to you from Galeria de las Islas in Metro Manila, Philippines. And today I want to talk about a subject that I've broached many times, but I thought we'd do it over a few days and just kind of talk more than anything else, just about a subject that I like to talk about, and that's the voices that go on in our heads. Most of us artists are dealing with many voices going on in our heads. Now, what do I mean by that? Is that we have our own self-talk. That self-talk is that ongoing story that we're telling ourselves. Sometimes positive, sometimes very negative and very destructive. And then we have the other voice that pipes in every time we go to do something wonderful and amazing, and that's the thief. And then that comes in and that wants to stop us, because the thief really, it just wants security. It wants quiet. It wants us to be safe. It wants boring. It doesn't want change, and it hates change, and it hates doing things that are exciting. It just wants us to quiet and write down. And then we have the third voice that comes, and that's the voice of the Muse. Now, the voice of the Muse is probably the hardest one to hear, and we're going to talk about it in a few days' time. But the voice of the Muse is that still, quiet voice that comes when you're painting or when you're creating, and it just begins to speak to you, and you can hear it. But it comes like a butterfly. It just gently comes down, but can be easily startled and be gone. So we got those things. So today I thought I would talk about self-talk, and especially negative self-talk, which is kind of one of the things that we as artists seem to struggle with a lot. I know I certainly did. I know that negative self-talk is the talk that is self-criticism and self-loathing that a lot of us deal with. We deal with these. I can remember, I remember this so clearly. I was invited to be part of a group show many years ago, and I did these 3 paintings for the group show, and as I was painting them, I was loving them, and I thought, these are fabulous paintings, and I really, really liked them, and I was talking to myself that way, and I was enjoying painting them. They were nice big paintings, very colorful, all the things that I put in paintings. And then I remember going and looking at them when I took them off the easel and thinking, these are great. These are going to be fabulous and part of the show. I then got them, wrapped them, took them down to where the exhibition was going to be hung, and gave them in. And then a couple of days later, I came back to see the show before it opened, because I wanted to have a look and see my wonderful paintings. And I walked in and I saw my paintings with all the other paintings of all the other artists. And my first thought was, oh my God, they're horrible. These are horrid paintings. How did I do this? How did I put these paintings in here? What kind of artist am I that I would paint such terrible paintings? And I began to speak like this to myself and slowly crashed down through the floor. Negative self-talk. Yes, the thief was involved. Yes, the thief was there saying, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't be here. But I still hear myself saying how terrible these paintings were. Now, I loved them a little bit earlier. A few days before, I thought they were fabulous. What's happened here? I thought I was the best artist in the whole world. And now I'm telling myself I'm the worst artist in the whole world. What's happening here? It's the talk. It's the talk in your head. You see, the thief comes along and says, you shouldn't be in this show. And our first response is, yes, that's true. Wow, look at the paintings. Aren't they horrible? They're terrible paintings. I should take them down. I should take them home. Now, this then escalates and gets worse. Because what happened was, now I'm standing there thinking they're terrible paintings. I'm a horrible artist. I'm a terrible artist. What am I painting for? I can't paint. So self-loathing begins to take over. This is one of the real issues of an artist. And then when the show opens, I come to the show with this attitude. I come to the show with the attitude that my paintings are terrible. I come to the show that I'm a terrible artist, that I'm a horrible person. And so when I get into the exhibition, I don't talk to anybody, because I already know they hate my paintings. How do I know they hate my paintings? Because I hate them. And I've told myself that I know that they hate the paintings. And I make this wonderful big assumption and just crash myself and burn. And that's what happens. And this happened to me more than once because of negative self-talk. Now, I had to change. I realized after that last time that this was terrible. When I got the paintings home and I looked at them and all the other things had passed away, they were still beautiful paintings. The paintings hadn't changed. Nothing changed with the paintings. Nothing changed with talent and all those things. What changed was the talk in my head. And I realized from that moment on, I had to make some big changes. And if I didn't make those big changes, I was going to ruin whatever career I had. Because one, I would not talk to people at the exhibition. I went and stood in the corner by myself and just drank. I did not want to talk about my paintings. So of course, nothing sold. So it just goes down and down and down. So I knew I had to do something. So what did I do? Well, I read books. And I found out about positive affirmation, about you will have what you say. And I began to settle down and write out things that I found really difficult to talk about and really difficult to say to myself. And I used to say them into the mirror at myself, looking into my own eyes. Now, I've got to the point now where I don't need the mirror, but I still say the things. I come out and I made affirmation. Now, you can make your own affirmations that you want to make, but you must include things like, I love me. I love myself. You must put that in. It's very important to say, I love myself, and to say, I am a good artist. I love painting and I love my paintings. I write all this down so that I can read it off to myself as I looked into my eyes. And I used to say, I am a friendly, warm person. I have a warm, engaging smile. Now, you might be laughing and you might say this is craziness, but this is what I did, and this changed my life. I said, I will always be positive. I will always find positive things to speak about. I will not find the negative. I will not do those things. Now, you can say, well, what happens, Mark, when you get out there and you say all these things and then you go and be negative? Well, it takes time. It takes a month or so to get this really into your psychic, as it were. But you begin to say these things and you will change. And then the problem comes a little bit later when you go to be negative and you've got a contradiction. You've got the contradiction of your affirmation with what the story you're trying to tell yourself, and you've got to decide which is true. And I came to the conclusion that the affirmation was true. I love myself. And if I can't love myself, I can't love others. So I learned to love myself, and the self-loathing stopped. I learned to say I am a good artist and I love my artwork, and I stopped being critical about my artwork. Oh yeah, if I didn't think something was very good, I would fix it up, but I didn't stand there and say, this is terrible, I hate this work, I hate my art. No, I don't say that at all anymore. I say, all my art's good, I love it, always, and get to that point, because the contradiction will stop. And yes, you'll quieten the thief at the same time. But it will take work. You need to write it down, you need to speak it, and you need to hear yourself saying it. And if you can, you need to see yourself looking at yourself in the mirror, speaking these words. Now, I like to do this 2 or 3 times a day. I like to do it in the morning, in the evening. And if there's a problem and things are going so well in the day, I like to just get alone for a few minutes and say, I am a positive person. I love my work. I love what I do. I am a fortunate man to be doing this. I say these things over and over. And in the end, they become your self-talk in your head. And you really will be able to deal with the negative things. But it takes positive affirmation. You will have whatsoever you say. Say it and you will have it. You will make it come true in your life. You can be free from negative self-talk, my friends. But it takes discipline, it takes work, and you've got to stick at it for a few months. I mean that, a few months. There's no easy fix here. It took me 40 plus years to get to the point where I was so critical of my work and loathed myself so much. I couldn't even be in a relationship, my God. I was in a terrible place. But today, I am a positive, happy person, and I love myself, and I love my art, and I love people. And I hope that you can grasp what I'm saying, pick this up, and use it to your good benefit. Okay, my friends, I'm going to leave it there for today. I hope you all have a fabulous day. Get out there and paint and enjoy yourself. And I look forward to the day when you come and visit me here in Metro Manila in the gallery. And I pray that you reach out and touch people who are not as fortunate as you and I are. And you reach out, give them a hug, give them a smile. They're both free. Give them away generously. And you have a wonderful day. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.